Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with my October wrap up. Unfortunately, I failed with finishing my TBR. I had 5 books in my TBR and I ended up reading like 4 books and 2/3 of another one because I had like 80 pages left in it and then I fell asleep and then suddenly it was November. So I suck, okay? But we're gonna get revenge in November, so it's fine. We'll survive. But yeah, I did end up finishing 14 books and 2/3 of another one, so I'm still pretty darn happy with it. Admittedly, some of these books are really short and I read a picture book for my course work. But anyways, let's get started. I actually ended up finishing 2 books in the same series. So I read Vita löparen and Den magiska rustningen, both written by Hanna Blixt. This is book 3 and 4 in the series called Sagofallen. This is a middle grade book and we meet Sophia and Leo and they sort of get, you know, transported into Sagofallen, which is this sort of mystical, magical world, and they have to pretty much help the inhabitants to get rid of this evil force, and they have to save the world pretty much. And this is just a continuation of the series and I'm really enjoying this series so far. I definitely think The magiska rustningen so far is my favorite, which is the 4th book. So Vita löparen I gave 4 stars and The magiska rustningen I gave 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then I also read Her Royal Highness by Rachel Hawkins. This is the companion novel to Prince Charming. In this one we meet Millie, and her on and off again sort of girlfriend actually ends up kissing somebody else and Millie is devastated, and so she decides to, you know, take that place at this Scottish boarding school that she actually was accepted to. So she decides to go, and while there she ends up being the roommate of the Scottish Princess Flora, and they do not get along. But it's very eventful, it's really funny and sort of a love to hate kind of thing going on, and you know, LGBTQ representation. So I really enjoyed this one. I give this 4 out of 5 stars. I read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is the sort of comic book version. If you guys don't know, Jane Eyre is actually my favorite classic book of all time. It's my favorite classic, and I just don't technically own my own copy. I only have it as an ebook and I borrowed it from the library, but now I have my own comic book version and I read this. I loved it, and I mean, I wasn't completely sold on the like illustrations, but I really enjoyed being back into the story, and it just reminds me once again I need to buy a copy for myself with, you know, the normal version. I ended up giving this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I'm deducting half a point just because the illustrations wasn't completely my cup of tea, but I do love Jane Eyre so much. And then we have The Hidden Witch by Molly Knox Ostertag. This is the 2nd graphic novel in the series called, I think it's called The Witch Boy, and it has beautiful illustrations and it's a really quick read. And in the first book, in the first graphic novel, we meet Aster and his family contains of witches and shapeshifters, and Aster has always wanted to be a witch because he wants to learn magic, but actually the male side of the family becomes shapeshifters, but he has no interest in that. He doesn't want to be a shapeshifter at all, and he's been sneaking around trying to be a part of the girls' lessons, becoming witches, so it's kind of been eavesdropping on those lessons, and yeah, that's kind of frowned upon, and shit happens, and it's just a really great novel, and I feel like they handled, you know, kind of stereotypes and stuff in a really good way, and I just really enjoyed it. And I think I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars. And now we have 2 books in the same series. So we have Strange Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. This was supposed to be a duology, but when I was almost finished with Muse of Nightmares, I found out there's another book coming. Probably because, you know, it's pretty clear when you finish this one that it's like, it's coming someday, who knows when. So I can't count it as a finished series, which was my plan, but it will definitely be like an honorable mention because I felt pretty finished. Anyways, but in Strange Dreamer, which is the first book, which was actually a reread for me, we meet Laszlo Strange, and he has been obsessed with this city called Weep, which is sort of a magical city that has sort of disappeared. Nobody doesn't even know his real name, and he's dedicated the last 7 years trying to find out everything he can about the city Weeb. And then one day this caravan comes into the town, and they are looking for people that can help them solve a problem that is in Weeb itself. And he actually gets to go and find out what the problem is, and it's all very mysterious and magical, and I love Laini Taylor's writing style, so I definitely need to read more by her. And the book 2 definitely takes a very different turn. So I do think I enjoyed Strange Dreamer a little bit more, the Muse of Nightmares, but it's still a very strong set of books. I gave Strange Dreamer 4.5 out of 5 stars, which is actually half a point higher than I rated it last time. And then Muse of Nightmares I gave 4 out of 5 stars. And then I also read Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks, and this is a graphic novel. I really do enjoy the art style, and this is about 2 characters. They've been working on the pumpkin patch every autumn, and now they're supposed to start college, so this will actually be their very last day of being, you know, it will be the very last time they work at the pumpkin patch, and they just want to make sure that they get to do everything they haven't had the time to do, and they want to rectify some things. And it's quite eventful. It was definitely not what I expected. It's a lot of like running around looking for people, honestly, but I really did enjoy the art style, and the characters was really good. Maybe would have liked a little bit more when it comes to like plot, but I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then to another reread. So this is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, but this is in Swedish, so it's actually Harry Potter och Hemligheternas kammare. I have read this one like 2 times before, the illustrated edition. The actual book I read like 5 billion times. But I needed to reread these books because Goblet of Fire was coming out, and then my order of Goblet of Fire got so freaking delayed that I actually got it the day of filming this, which is November 1st. So that was great, so I wouldn't have needed to stress about this. But it's Harry Potter, everybody knows what it's about. I loved it, and I love Jim Kay's illustrations, and I'm just really enjoying this reread so much. And of course I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. And then I also read Queen of Shadows by Sarah J Maas. This is me trying to continue on with a series I started a long time ago. This is the 4th book in the Throne of Glass series, and I actually stopped after Heir of Fire, the 3rd book, because, well, I wasn't hooked on it as much as the previous 2 books, and I just feel like this one, I mean, it's a hunker, and it took me so long to read it because frankly I just didn't want to read it. And I mean, it's very well written, and there's shit happening and stuff, but I don't care about the characters anymore, and like all of the male characters are kind of dominant and kind of like, I don't know, they try to decide too many things above the female characters, and I just don't like that, and they're sort of obsessive and stuff, and I don't know. So I really kind of had to force myself to finish this one, and I give it 3 stars just because it's really well written, and I did like enjoy it overall, but I just have some issues with it. And I really want to finish the series because, not because I want to read them, which is a stupid reason, but because I need to finish series, and because I do own book 5 and 6, and I have book 7 on my e-reader, but it's gonna be a struggle for sure. And then we have With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, and this is a beautiful book. But in this one we meet Imoni, and she is a teenage mother, and she has a little daughter, Emma, and she is just trying to get a hang of, you know, being a mother with a little child and being able to go to school and stuff like that. But her big passion in life is actually food, and she gets the opportunity to actually go to this food course in school, and shit goes down. I did enjoy this book. I really enjoyed like Imoni and her friends and Emma and her grandma and stuff like that, but I still felt like something was missing. I don't really know what was missing, but something, and that deducts a little bit, but I ended up giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. And then I also read Lilla H. Hälsa På, and I don't remember the author's name of now, something Forslind. This is a picture book that I get to read in my literary course I'm taking for work, and it's really cute, really like simplistic, but at the same time like really telling at the same time, and it's such a cute read. And I haven't really decided on a rating, but I think like 4 stars is where it's going to be. Then I finished Lord of Chaos by Robert Jordan. This is like, I don't even know anymore, I think it's book 7 in the Wheel of Time series. And as you guys know, I'm just finishing it because of my stupid reading goal for this year, meaning finishing Brandon Sanderson's books, and I need to finish the Robert Jordan parts of the books to be able to get to the Brandon Sanderson part, and totally regretting that goal because I don't think I'm going to make it because of this. But as you guys know, I'm not really like enjoying them too much. It's kind of dragging on actually, and I'm struggling. But yeah, I ended up giving this book 3 out of 5 stars. And then we also finished A Crown of Swords by Robert Jordan. It's pretty much like the same thoughts on that one, and I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars. The book that I almost finished had 80 pages left in it when I passed the frick out at like 10 p.m. because I'm an old lady, I can't stay up after 10 these days, it's ridiculous. But that was Beyond the Kingdoms by Chris Colfer. This is the 4th book in the Land of Stories series. I had so little left, like see that? That's not a lot, and I'm so mad at myself because I should have been able to finish it, because I had from Sunday until Thursday to finish it and I just didn't. And this is such a quick read, like I flew through it. Anyways, this will definitely be the first book I finish during November. Yeah, that was all of the 14 2/3 of books I finished this month. Please let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of these books and what you thought about them, without spoiling anybody of course. And if you like this video, please don't forget to give me some thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the button down below. And I hope we see each other in the next one. Bye!